What if the stars suddenly warped and something invisible was already inside our solar system? No explosion, no warning, just gravity shifting, and a silent intruder changing everything we know. At first, nothing looks wrong. The planets are moving exactly like they always have. Earth spins, Mars follows its path, and everything feels normal. But far beyond Pluto, something strange is already happening. Not visible, not loud, just off. Like gravity is behaving in ways we don't expect. And here's the part most people get wrong. Black holes aren't cosmic vacuum cleaners. They don't suck everything in from across space. If a black hole of the same mass replaced our Sun, Earth would keep orbiting almost the same. Imagine placing a heavy bowling ball on a stretched sheet. Everything nearby starts rolling toward it. Astronomers begin noticing tiny inconsistencies, movements that don't match predictions, numbers that don't line up. For a while, it's been brushed off as an error, equipment glitches. But then, something happens that can't be ignored. Pluto, out there on the edge, suddenly shifts. Not slowly, not gradually. It's thrown off its orbit, like something grabbed it and let go. And this is where things start to feel real. The data keeps coming in. Telescopes around the world turn toward the same region. And then, images from the Hubble Space Telescope show something even stranger. The stars behind a certain point in space, they aren't sitting still. They're bending, stretching, and warping in ways that shouldn't be possible. For a second, scientists don't even know how to explain it. Then the realization hits. Whatever is out there, it's massive, invisible, and already inside our solar system. News spreads fast, quiet at first, then louder, a subtle drift in the sun's motion. Outer objects behave unpredictably, and then someone runs the numbers, and suddenly, everything becomes a countdown. Roughly 95 years. That's how long before this thing reaches the inner solar system. 95 years sounds like a long time, until you realize what it means. Because if something can move planets without being seen, then what exactly are we dealing with? And more importantly, how close is it already? As scientists scramble to understand it, one thing becomes clear. The outer edges of our solar system are about to take the first hit. Out there, where sunlight is already weak and distant, something begins to fall apart. Objects like Sedna, those lonely, frozen worlds at the edge, are the first to feel it. Their paths start bending in ways that don't make sense, not random, not natural. It's like something unseen is slowly pulling on them, testing its reach. And then, the sky itself starts to glitch. Stars behind this invisible object begin to warp, stretching into strange, ringed shapes, almost like glowing halos. Scientists call them Einstein rings. This effect is called gravitational lensing, where gravity bends light itself, like a magnifying glass made of space. And honestly, it looks like reality bending in real time. And for the first time, humanity doesn't just suspect something's there, they see its effect. But this wasn't even the worst part. Because far beyond the planets, the Oort cloud, this massive shell of icy debris, gets disturbed. Before the black hole even reaches Neptune, the Oort cloud explodes into motion, sending thousands of comets racing toward the inner solar system. And when it does, it doesn't just shift, it explodes into motion. Thousands of comets get thrown inward, racing toward the sun and toward us. The solar system suddenly turns into a shooting gallery, and then the giants begin to move. Neptune drifts. Uranus follows. Slowly at first, then more noticeably. These aren't small rocks. These are massive planets, and they're being dragged like they weigh nothing. That's when it hits everyone. This isn't stopping. This isn't avoidable. The outer planets aren't just moving. They're being thrown out of orbit. So if something this far away can already rewrite the paths of entire planets, what happens when it gets closer? Because now, there aren't decades left. There are years. And it's speeding up. And this is where everything changes. The balance that held the solar system together for billions of years starts to break. Not slowly, not gently, just gone. Neptune doesn't drift anymore. It's gone. Thrown completely out of the solar system, disappearing into interstellar darkness like it never belonged here. And then Saturn's region begins to collapse into chaos. Moons shift. Rings distort. Gravity pulls in directions it never should. It's no longer about orbits. It's survival. Meanwhile, the asteroid belt gets shaken like a box of loose stones. Massive chunks break free and start heading inward. And one of them is on a direct path to Earth. But here's the part nobody expected. Even the sun isn't stable anymore. It begins to move. Slowly, but noticeably. Being pulled toward something stronger. And as it moves, everything else follows. Planets, asteroids, debris. It's like the entire solar system is being dragged along behind this invisible force. The solar system isn't being destroyed, it's being rearranged. So now the question isn't if something will hit Earth, it's what reaches us first. Because ahead, something much bigger is waiting. And when the black hole reaches the gas giants, we're about to see it for the first time. And this is where it becomes visible. Up until now, everything has been invisible. Effects without a source. Movements without a cause. But as the black hole approaches Jupiter, something finally gives it away. Not the black hole itself, but what it does to the largest planet in our solar system. At first, Jupiter just shifts slightly off its path. Then its atmosphere stretches, pulled like liquid towards something unseen. And within moments, that pull turns violent. Entire layers of gas begin ripping away, spiraling into space. And then, it starts glowing. Bright blue-white, almost unreal. From Earth, it would look like a new star appearing. But it's not. It's Jupiter, being torn apart. The stripped gas forms a blazing accretion disk, spinning around the black hole like a cosmic storm. And just like that, Jupiter is gone. If a planet as massive as Jupiter can be torn apart, what chance does Earth have? Because now, it's heading straight for us. Before it even arrives, we feel it. Asteroids thrown earlier begin striking Earth. One hit, and everything changes. Shockwaves ripple across the planet. Oceans rise. Tsunamis erase coastlines. For a moment, it feels like the end. But it isn't. Mars is torn apart next. Then Earth is caught. Not destroyed, but pulled into chaos. And then, something unexpected happens. We don't fall in. We get thrown out. Hurled into deep space, becoming a rogue planet, drifting endlessly in darkness. And this is where it hits hardest. Temperatures drop. Fast. Oceans begin to freeze. The sky lights up, not with sunlight, but with radiation. Strange, glowing auroras cover the entire planet. Beautiful, but deadly. What's worse than destruction? Drifting forever in darkness. Because if we're not destroyed, we're alone. And the black hole? It's still moving, straight toward the one thing holding everything together. And now, it reaches the sun. This is the moment everything builds toward. Not a collision, but something far more terrifying. The black hole doesn't crash into the sun, it starts feeding on it. Slowly at first. As the sun is pulled apart, its gas forms an accretion disk, a spinning ring of superheated plasma moving at incredible speeds. This disk doesn't just glow, it emits intense X-rays and gamma radiation, powerful enough to sterilize any planet nearby. For a brief moment, the solar system doesn't go dark. It shines brighter than ever before. And then, something even more extreme happens. Jets, massive beams of energy, burst from the poles of the black hole, shooting out at near light speed. Fueled by what used to be our sun. It's violent, beautiful, and completely final. Because after that, there's nothing left. No sunlight, no warmth, just silence. So the question is, after something like this, does anything survive? What's left isn't empty. It's just different. Some planets, if they weren't thrown away, might still exist. But now they orbit something else. Not a star, not a source of light, just a black hole, silent and invisible at the center of a completely new system. Others aren't so lucky. They drift, alone, endless. Cold worlds wandering through space with no direction, no destination. And the light that once defined everything is gone. Our solar system didn't just end, it became something else. And that leaves one question hanging. Could something like this actually happen to us? But here's the truth. Space is unimaginably vast, and the chances of this happening are almost zero. Smaller black holes could pass through unnoticed. Still, knowing this is possible changes how you see the night sky. Because sometimes the universe doesn't need to explode. It just passes by. Like, subscribe and stay curious for more mysteries.